Hello, my dear apprentices. This is your coach, Mr. Magno, with one more amazing video to help you understand how to solve these math problems. So here we go. We're going to start with reading by reading the instructions. Multiply using both fraction form and unit form. Okay, so that's a mouthful. And if you don't get it, here's what happens. The fraction form is going to be this model here. Okay, and the unit form is this form right here with the algorithm. And what makes a difference right here is this part, is that this number right here, 23 tenths, the denominator becomes the unit. Okay, for example, 18 tenths, well, that's 18 tenths. So the denominator always becomes the unit. That's what gives you what the unit is. So we're going to practice that a few times, okay? And notice that they set it up for us. Here's the B, 2.3 times 0.9. Now, let's remember a couple of things, guys. Remember that this fraction, so let me write this down. Remember that one whole always equals 10 tenths. So as a result, when you have two wholes, then you have 20 tenths. Okay, this is good information to recall. This is all news. We've learned this in the beginning of the year. So I'm refreshing your memory. And then 3 wholes equals what? Well, obviously another 10, which will be 30. 30 what? 30 tenths. So remember this information, and the higher you go, the higher you're going to see that the numerator is going to increase and the denominator stays the same. Okay? All right, now let's look at this. And the reason I share that is because we're going to convert the 2.3 into tenths. So 2 wholes equals 20 plus the 3 tenths should be 23 tenths. Okay? So that is step number 1, converting that decimal into a fraction. And the other one is less than 1, so that is 9 tenths. That is simple, okay? Okay, once we do that, here's what we do. We have to multiply them. So let's redo that multiplication on the top. So it's going to be 23 times 9 over 10 times 10. Okay, and that's going to give us the answer. So 23 times 9 times 3 equals 27. You carry 2 over to the tens. 9 times 2 equals 18 plus 2 equals 20. So the number 23 times 9 equals 207. Okay, let me check one more time. 9 times 3 equals 27. You carry 2 over. 9 times 2 equals 18 plus 2 equals 20. Yes, that's correct. So 10 times 10 equals 100. Okay, so there is our fraction. Okay, and now here's what we need to do. We're going to convert this one into what do you call that? Into decimals. So we're going to write it here. Now let me again go up here. I'm going to share something that you have learned in the past as well. So 1 whole in hundreds is going to be 100 hundredths. And that's the first number. So the next number will be, how about 2? Well, 2 is always going to equal 200 hundredths. Okay? And you see, if you continue the progression going up, then 3 has to equal 300 hundredths. Okay? So remember this progression. So 4 is going to be 400 hundredths. 3 is going to be 40 tenths. So either or, these are the same, except that we're talking about tenths over here, and these are hundredths. The left are tenths and the right are hundredths, but they equal the same thing. Why am I mentioning that? Because on this problem, we have 207 hundredths. So here's what happens. The 200 becomes 2. Then you add a decimal. And 0.7 is 100. So we're going to add 0.7 because that's 7 hundredths. So now that's the answer in decimals. Okay? Now we're going to do the unit form. Again, let me remind you. They turn the 10 into the unit. It's right here, 23 tenths. And they turn the tenths here into the unit 9 tenths. So when you multiply 9 times 23 is going to give us the number 207, like we did it, like we found on this fraction way of solving the problem. So when you multiply those numbers, that's going to be the answer. Okay. So 207. Yes, that's correct. And again, if we need to write that one into, oh wait, so but this is, now remember that the key right here is tenths. So when you are doing this problem, you got to multiply these units as well. So what is 10 times 10? Just like we did it over here, okay? It has to equal 100, okay? Now let's write it down. Let me get the text box. And that's going to be hundredths. Okay, so that's our, so now 23 tenths times 9 tenths equals 207 hundredths, okay? And remember why? Because we multiplied those two numbers. The tenths and the tenths, that's 10 times 10 equals 100. All right, so that will be the answer. And just remember one thing. This number, this decimal form, is the same thing as this unit form. And on this one, the unit is hundredths. And this, again, is the same as this, as I mentioned. But I want to also mention that this fraction is the same as those three choices. So we have the fraction form, we have the unit form, and we have the decimal form. Watch this video again if you need the repetition. Remember that you need to watch this video about 10 times if you are having a difficult time understanding it. Watch it many times. Signing out, your coach who wishes you to be a math expert.